I always believed anniversaries were meant to honor how much you'd grown together, not how far you'd drifted apart. 12 years. That's what Megan and I were marking that night. Or, at least, that's what I thought when I made the reservation at Lavana, the same Italian restaurant where I'd asked her to marry me. I wanted it to mean something. A quiet table tucked in the corner, candles glowing, the same bottle of wine we'd shared the night I proposed. Megan looked stunning, in that effortless way she always had. She wore a pale blue dress, her hair loose, a small diamond pendant glinting softly near her collarbone. But her eyes, they were different. There was a distance there, a faint distraction that didn't belong. I told myself it was nothing, that I was imagining it. "Happy anniversary," I said, lifting my glass. She smiled, a polite, practiced curve of her lips, but it never reached her eyes. 12 years, she murmured, touching her glass to mine. Feels like forever, doesn't it? The way she said it made it sound like she wasn't sure. I kept the smile anyway, unwilling to pull the thread. I filled the silence with stories, the vacations, the house, the years that shaped us. She laughed in the right moments, nodded when she should have, but her gaze kept sliding toward her phone, lying face down beside her plate like it was waiting for something. Halfway through dinner, she excused herself to the restroom. I remember watching her leave, that same graceful walk I'd once loved so much. Around me, the restaurant buzzed with soft laughter and murmured conversation, candles flickering over half-finished glasses of wine. Everything felt normal. Completely, painfully normal. Then my phone buzzed. A message from my brother, Ethan. "You still at Lavana?"
"Yeah. Why?"
I texted back. "Might want to step outside. You've got company." My chest tightened. Ethan wasn't one for jokes. I stood, muttered an excuse to the waiter, and slipped toward the side hall past the kitchen. The cool night air met me as I pushed open the exit door. That's when I saw her. Megan stood near a black car parked by the curb. The passenger door was open, and leaning against it was a man, tall, broad-shouldered, and sickeningly familiar. It took a second to place him. Tyler, my business partner. The same man who'd stood beside me on my wedding day, glass raised in a toast to our future. They hadn't seen me yet. She was smiling, genuinely smiling, the kind that hadn't graced her face in months. She touched his arm lightly, said something that made him laugh. Then he reached out and brushed a strand of hair from her cheek, tender and unhurried, like it was something he'd done before. My pulse roared in my ears. The world narrowed until there was nothing but the two of them and the sound of my own heart breaking. I stepped back quietly, not trusting myself to speak, not trusting what I might do. Inside, the candle had burned lower. The wine sat untouched, now warm. Everything looked exactly as before, except I wasn't the same. When she returned, she smiled again, sliding seamlessly back into her role as the loving wife celebrating 12 years of marriage. "Sorry," she said softly. She said, picking up her napkin. There was a line. I stared at her, wondering how someone could lie so easily while looking you dead in the eye. The rest of dinner blurred by in pieces, her soft voice, my silence, the quiet rhythm of silverware against porcelain. I paid the check, thanked the waiter, and we walked out hand in hand like everything was fine. But something inside me had shifted, a fault line I couldn't ignore. The drive home was silent. Megan leaned her head against the window, scrolling through her phone, the blue light flickering across her face like a ghost of emotion. I kept both hands on the wheel, steady, forcing my voice even when I asked, "You tired?" "A little," she murmured without looking up. "Long week." That was her answer to everything lately. It used to be, "I missed you." Now it was always, "I'm tired." I wondered if Tyler ever heard that same excuse, or if she saved her energy for him. When we got home, she went straight upstairs. I stayed in the kitchen, staring at my own reflection in the dark window. The house felt colder now. The walls that once echoed with laughter and whispered secrets seemed to hold only silence and half-truths. I wanted to storm up those stairs, to demand the truth, to ask why him? Why tonight? Why our anniversary? But I didn't move. I just stood there, numb. There's a kind of pain that doesn't burn, it hollows you out instead. When I finally went upstairs, she was already in bed, pretending to sleep. I lay beside her, inches away from the woman who once felt like home, and all I could think was how far away she seemed while lying right next to me. The next morning, I woke before her. I sat at the edge of the bed, staring at the little things, the jewelry box, the framed honeymoon photo, the perfume bottle on the dresser. Everything was exactly where it had always been. But none of it meant anything now. She stirred, smiling faintly. "You're up early." "Yeah," I said. "Couldn't sleep." She stretched. "You okay?" I looked at her then, really looked. The woman I'd built a life around now felt like a stranger renting space in my home. "I'm fine," I said quietly. And for the first time in a long time, I meant it. That day, I didn't go to work. Instead, I drove to the lake we used to visit on lazy Sundays. I sat for hours watching the water. Calm, steady, unbothered. It reminded me of who I used to be, before everything got heavy, before love turned into duty. By afternoon, I knew what I had to do. When I got home, Megan was at the dining table, laptop open, coffee in hand. "Hey," she said casually. "I was thinking maybe we could visit your mom this weekend." I nodded.
Sure.
"But I'll drive separately." She frowned. "Why?" I met her eyes, steady, unflinching. "Because after that, I'm not coming back." Her face went pale. "What are you talking about?" "I saw you last night," I said softly. "Outside the restaurant." Color drained from her cheeks. Her lips parted, but no words came out. For a second, I thought she might lie again. But she didn't have to. The silence said everything. "Megan," I said, my voice even. "I spent years believing love could survive anything if you just tried hard enough. I gave it everything I had. But I think we both know this ended long before last night." She stood, eyes glistening. "It's not what you think." I almost laughed. "Then what is it?" She said nothing. I picked up my keys and looked around one last time. The photos on the wall, the couch where we fell asleep watching old movies, the kitchen where we used to dance barefoot at midnight. All of it felt like a memory already fading. At the door, she whispered, "So that's it?" I turned back, my voice calm. "It's not revenge, Megan. It's peace. You made your choice. I'm just finally making mine." Then I left. Outside, the evening air carried a quiet I hadn't felt in years. I walked to my car, started the engine, and for once, I didn't feel the weight of what I was leaving, only the relief of what I was heading toward. Freedom. And as the lights of our house disappeared in the rearview mirror, I realized something. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do isn't to make someone stay. It's to find the courage to finally walk away.